All right, welcome to the oil change demonstration for the 2020 Kawasaki KLX230R. If you look in your owner's manual, if you go to page 39, all right, it tells you in order for the engine, transmission, and clutch to be properly maintained, the engine oil at the proper level, blah 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 blah. Yeah, change the oil. So what it wants you to do here, now it says over here, I don't know if you can see that, but it says here the initial oil change and oil filter replacement is going to be at 5 hours or 1 month. So I did the break-in on this bike. So the break-in for the engine is 2 to 3 minutes idle and then 1 hour of easy calm riding, and that's what I did in my yard. I never got out of second gear. It's a nice easy ride. So now first hour is done, so now I'm going to do an oil change because that's where most of your stuff is going to break off. And then I'm going to do another oil change at 5 hours, and I'm going to follow the book after that for 50 hours and so forth, so forth. So the tools that I'll be using today is a cheap Husky little socket set here to get all the bolts off, a Duralast micrometer torque wrench from 5 to 80 foot-pounds, because in the book it says for your oil filter you want to tighten it to 89 inch-pounds. So you just take 89. If you're using a torque foot-pounds like I am, you just take 89 divided by 12, and that's going to give you your torque pounds. And then the engine oil drain bolt is going to be 11 foot-pounds. So that's why I had to get from a 5 to an 80. This is the oil filter right here. The part number is from Kawasaki. Part number is 52010-1053. And we'll open it up a little bit so you can see. Just make sure you can see what I'm doing here. Yep. The hell with the box. So this is your oil filter. All right, you can see it already comes with the grommet on there, and this side right here is going to go for the spring, and then this is going to go to the outer case, if you can see here in the picture. Okay, so that's your oil filter. It also calls for 1.4 quarts of 10W40. I got the Honda 10W40 because, you know, Honda oil is really good. So I got 2 quarts here, and then I also went ahead and got an extra gasket. Now the gasket part number is 920551577. All right, I just got this. I shouldn't need it today because, like I said, I only ran it for an hour and this is the first oil change. But I bought it just to have for in the future as an extra spare, so that way I don't do my next oil change and find out I needed it. Drain plan and a funnel. All right, so the first thing you want to do, like this says, the first thing you want to do is start the engine, let it run for several minutes at idle speed. Do not run the engine at high engine speed. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to start it up, and I actually recently just put an hour meter. I don't know if you can see it, but there's an hour meter right there. So this is a good time to test it. So we're going to start the bike up. It's fuel injected, so listen for the fuel to go, and then so several minutes we'll let that idle for, and then we'll be good to go. We'll let it idle, and then after that you're going to stop the engine and wait several minutes for the oil to settle. So that's what we're going to do. So just let it idle for several minutes and see if that's registering. Yeah, it's definitely registering. I see it blinking. All right, so let that idle. And I'll be right back. I'm not gonna sit here and make you wait. That's all I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna let it idle for probably 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna let it cool for 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna continue on with the video and get the oil change done. All right, see you in a bit. Thanks for watching. All right, welcome back. So I let the bike run for about 10 minutes and let it sit for about 10 minutes. So now that we've already warmed up the engine properly, so stop the engine and place container underneath it. So I'm gonna place the container underneath it. There we go. Kind of doing it by the numbers here so everybody can see it. All right, and then remove the oil filter plug. Now the oil filter plug is not your drain plug. Oil filter plug is right here on this end. Be careful because your exhaust is right there. You don't want to touch that, because then you got to get band-aids. So once you remove that, they tell you to do that just so it helps it drain out properly. And now you want to remove the oil filter plug. And I'm gonna call, I don't know the size of it, so or maybe with a 12. That's not gonna work. What am I doing? Womp womp womp. Sure your wrench isn't turned off. Let's see here. Sorry for the mud. Yep, it's definitely, I was thinking it was a 14. Let's try the 14. I should move the pan down here, the tools, but. And once again, once you're down here, be careful. All this right here is going to be hot. That's your exhaust. It takes a little bit. Once you get it going. And you should know, it does want you to use its stand so the bike leans the way it's supposed to lean. Look at that. And that doesn't look bad at all. See a little bit of metal in there. All in all, it does look pretty clean. Now this is coming out of the factory. Like I said, it's the first oil change. It's looking pretty clean. So we'll give that a minute here to drain out. So that's our next step. I got too old to get down and up and down. All right, remove the oil drain bolt and gasket. So the gasket's already on the bolt. It's like a little washer deal. Using it on a stand to drain. All right, keep letting it. Let it keep draining, and then we'll come on over to the other side here where the oil filter is. And it looks like it's going to be like a 9 or so. So the drain plug is 14 millimeter on the Kawasaki, on a 2020 Kawasaki KLX230R. Come on over here. Nope, it's not a 9. It's a little guy. So we'll bring a 7. It's got to be a 7. No way smaller than a 7. It's an 8. First oil change, people. First oil change. Come on over. Loosen it up. Loosen that one up. There's probably gonna be some oil coming out of this. Man, it looks good though. for the first, like I said, the bike's only ran for an hour, so I wasn't really predicting a whole mess load of metal. Maybe when I do my next oil change at 5 hours, it will be quite a bit of metal in there. But and this is your exhaust, so you don't want to touch that, like I said, because then you're gonna end up with some band-aids on your knuckles. And once that's open, just kind of, I want to bang it, but there is a spring in there, so kind of work it off there and it pops out. Inspect the O-ring. This is where your O-ring is, and like I said, I got an extra O-ring just in case. And then you can take out, and the spring popped down. Oil filter looks good. See a little bit of metal in there, but nothing to get all hibbity up over it. Let's put that there. And I don't like putting these kind of things in the ground, so I'll bring this over here, place it on my little bench I made. Come back over here, get this spring out of there. Put the spring down. Should have grabbed paper towels when I was inside getting my band-aids, but I don't have any in here, of course, because that's what I do. So I'll be right back and I'll get some paper towels. And welcome back. Got some paper towels now. I'm gonna take some paper towels. I'm just gonna wipe off any excess oil in there. Wipe it off the spring without, I don't wipe it this way, I wipe it kind of going the other way so I don't mess that up at all. Like that. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna come in here where the oil filter was. As you can see, hopefully you can see, but there's a stinky little leaf out of here. There's quite a bit of oil still left in the oil filter area, so I'm just gonna try to get all that out of there. Soak it up. Come on now. Almost. Let's save on paper towels here. Wipe all that down. There we go. It's kind of windy, so I'm just going to put it in here. This shed needs to get cleaned out anyways. All right. So it calls now that you're going to want to put some oil on the oil filter grommet. So I'm going to get that out. Another piece of paper towel here because I know I'm going to need that. All I'm going to do is kind of like with a car oil filter. I'm going to take that off. I'm going to just take my finger, stick it in there so I don't get too much on there. Some oil on that grommet there. Yeah, that's the way she likes it. Yeah, she likes it like that. Not too much, not a whole lot. And then this is what I was told is the tricky part, is getting the spring, the cap, and the oil filter all in at once. So let's see here. Should have left that on the table for now. So put the spring in there, kinda. And take this and this. Put that on there like so. Come on. The neighbor's dog's gonna go nuts. No, there's no way. Huh. No. Boy, they made this easy, huh? I wonder if I lean the bike a little bit more. On the stand. Move that down. All right. So that's why the guy in the video that I watched, in a video, laid the bike completely on the ground to do the oil. Put the spring back in there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna torque down the drain plug. All right. And for this particular bike, oil filter cover, engine oil drain bolt is to 11 foot-pounds. So get this bad boy out of there. Loosen this up. So let's see here. It's 10. That'd be 11. That on there. Set it off. Set it on. Watching the exhaust. So it's backwards. Nice and easy with it. There. That's 11 pounds. All right. I'm gonna move my oil that I'm going to dispose of later off video per EPA guidelines. All right. I'm gonna lay the bike down, I guess. Actually, I wonder, instead of laying it all the way down, I'm going to no, lay it down. I'm gonna lay it down. Lay the bike down nice and easy. Here we go. Hurry up, put this on. spring in there. Now these are going to go only one way. That's the way it's going to go. There's that, there's that. Tighten this up. And pick the bike back up. There we go. There. And now that those 2 bolts there for the oil filter need to be torqued to 89 inch-pounds. So take my phone here. So I'm just going to take 89 divided by 12. That's 7.5. So I'm gonna go 8. I'm gonna go 8. That's 10. 5, 6, 7, 8. Kind of do it evenly. That one's snug. Okay, they're both snug. So now that's 8. That's 8. Okay, so everything's torqued down. This can just get put in there. Alright, everything is torqued down now. So it also calls for 1.4 quarts of oil. So I'm gonna do 1.5. Replace the gas. Okay, so engine oil capacity, filter is removed, engine is completely dry. So engine is completely dry, about 1.5 quarts. You may have to drain a little bit out, but filter on there, not the filter. So I'm gonna dump this whole one in there. Now I'm not running synthetic yet. I'm just running a regular 10W40 Honda, and then I'll after my 50 hours. I'm gonna do this oil change again at 5 hours, and I'll probably do another video. Like I said, this oil change here is just being done at 1 hour. Just because I think it's best to do it 1 hour. Let's see. I'll go down to that line there. Keep going. A little bit more. Let's see what that does. All right. New oil's in. Everything's in. Have to give it a minute for the oil to. I'm gonna put this plug back in, clean it off so we don't put any extra gunk in there that we don't want. And be careful, that exhaust right there is hot. And this has to be just snug. You don't want to go too crazy with it. There you go. There. And we'll give it a minute or like 2 minutes for it to sink down in. And then Kawasaki in a 2020 bikes, they got a nice little fill indicator here. So I'm actually gonna hold the bike flat, standing up. Let's roll down the hill. All right. So we got, and I overfilled it. All right. So when you overfill it, that's a big pisser. You gotta come back over here to your trusty tools. Drain some out of it. Too much oil. It's extremely bad for the engine. Gasket. There you go. Drain, let it drain. And let's see here. Covered in oil. Hang tight for now. Get all this oil up my hand. Ugh. Hopefully I don't have to do this too many times.